All right, it's 1 o'clock, so I will call today's regular council meeting for Tuesday, October 12th, 2021 to order. Let's jump right in. And are there any added items? Acting CAO.
Can we add under new business, municipal finance intern position?
Absolutely. And Councillor Bennett.
Thank you, Worship. I would like to add under new business, that would be 6C, our web page and posting of upcoming election information.
Page. Excellent. All right. Anything else to add? Seeing none, I take a motion to accept today's agenda as amended. Councillor Blatz.
Thank you, your worship. I so move that we accept the agenda for Tuesday, October 12th, 2021 as amended.
Excellent. Comments, questions, concerns? Seeing none, I'll call the vote. All in favor and opposed. That motion is carried. All right, let's move along. We have 2 sets of minutes to approve. So I take a motion for the first. Councillor Ryan.
Thank you, your worship. I move that the minutes from the September 27, 2021 regular council meeting be adopted as presented.
Thank you very much. Comments, questions, errors, omissions? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor and opposed. That motion is carried as well. All right, let's carry on for the second set of Councillor Bennett.
Thank you, Worship. I move that the minutes from the October 1st, 2021 special closed council meeting be adopted as presented.
Thank you. Comments, questions, concerns, errors, omissions? Seeing none, I'll call the vote. All in favor and opposed. Motion is carried. All right, that we have no presentations, delegations. Is there any business arising out of the minutes or unfinished business? Yes, Councillor Ryan.
Thank you, your worship. Sorry, did you ask for business arising out of the minutes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Just on page, I believe it's 9. It's hard to tell because it lines through it, but it looks like 9 on the minutes, 9A, with regards to the RCMP retro pay and the letter that was requested to be sent. I was just wondering what the whether or not that letter has been sent yet or not.
Acting CEO.
I am unsure, but I will look into that for you.
Okay, thank you.
Excellent. Anything else? Business arising, unfinished? Seeing none, we'll move along to new business. Item 6A, Council Strategic Plan. Acting CEO.
We have Kelly Lloyd joining us via Zoom today to provide an update to council on their strategic plan for the 2017 to 2021 term.
Excellent. Ms. Lloyd.
Hello, and thank you, Ms. Linderman. Good afternoon, Your Worship and members of Council. As per Council's annual agenda schedule, updates to the strategic plan have been presented to Council twice a year in January and in July since 2018. Today's update is meant to be celebratory in nature, and there is a correction in the RFD, as this is actually the 4th update in 2021, following updates on February 1st, March 29 during service level review, and July 5th. Since this last update only 3 months ago, Council will see differences in the areas of data reporting, such as the following. As expected, an increase in uptake in the town's social media platforms, bylaw changes, sponsorship and promotion spending, social development support, and COVID relief. So as reported to you in July, Council has supported a plethora of strategies, 58 actually, ranging from governance, fiscal responsibility, service sustainability, growth and expansion, safety of the community, and communication. And that's my brief introduction to the strategic plan update that you have in front of you. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Ms. Lloyd. May I start with a motion to accept for information? And if there's any questions for Ms. Lloyd, we'll field them after that. Councillor Blatz.
Thank you, Your Worship. I move that the strategic plan for 2017 to 2021 be accepted for information.
Excellent.
And thank you to Ms. Lloyd for presenting this and to all the staff who've had input in this for the past few years and for the support they've shown this council. I think it's very important that we recognize each and every individual for their contribution during this term. Thank you.
Absolutely. Very well said. Thank you, Councillor Blatz. Any other questions for Ms. Lloyd? Yes, Councillor Harper. Then Ryan.
Thank you very much, Your Worship, through you to Ms. Lloyd. Under 3.2, and it's all talking about asset management. Yeah, I know that I did ask this question earlier on, but I see now that it says that we have a check mark under all of the asset management plans that we have obtained all these goals. But I see that it says 90% captured asset inventory require attributes. So I'm just asking the question, did the town of Wolves complete a complete inventory of all equipment, tools, everything down to the note paper that the town of Wolves has for a certain date? And is it constantly updated?
Okay. Is that a Ms. Lloyd question or a Director Wagstaff question?
Well, it's under her asset management, but if somebody
Yep.
would like to answer that.
Okay. Oh,
I can try to answer that if you like. So just a couple of notes above that, you have an engineering co-op student. So that student was brought on this summer in order to capture some attributes regarding our linear assets. I cannot say for certain that 100% of our inventory is done. There has been transfer into the software program that Ms. Linderman can speak to for a full capture of the inventory piece. So I do know that I can say that some of the linear structure is still an ongoing capture of those attributes. Ms. Linderman?
So the inventory that we have is our tangible capital asset inventory, which it can be moved into asset management. So it is not down to every single nut and bolt or anything like that. It is our capital assets. And that's why I think it's at 90% at this point.
Okay. All right, yes, follow up.
Just to
Councillor
follow
Harper?
up on that.
Yeah.
So how do we track all of our inventory? When I say snow shovels, snow blowers, garden tractors, tree spades, how do we track that? And do we do a check off every year or what do we do?
So at this point, so tractors are covered under our capital asset, like bigger items, anything over $5,000 is tracked within our tangible capital assets. Smaller items such as shovels and such, we've just actually begun an inventory this year. When we moved operations center, we did a full inventory of everything that we have, and that will be maintained going forward.
Excellent. All right, Councillor Ryan.
Oh, thank you, Your Worship. I was just wondering under 1.1, increased online payments. I was just wondering if Acting CEO Lindman could tell us whether or not we've seen any improvement in this over the last, 4 years, maybe what we started with and what we have right now, how far we have to go to get more people on the online payments, because it does save quite a bit of money going that route.
Right, yeah, so this particular item was to do with online banking payments. And we added an accounts receivable section so people can pay their business licenses, animal licenses. Unfortunately, it was after all those were sent out for the year, but it is being used already. And then as far as online payments for taxes, utilities, it increases substantially year after year. A lot of people are taking us up on that, which is great.
Do we have any idea about the percentages right now?
I do not. I can look into that though, for sure.
It'd be interesting to find out and see how far we have to go in order to continue to try to get more people on it, because I think it was around 30-something% before, but I know it's increased quite a bit since then, so.
So that is the pre-authorized payments, which is a separate payment mechanism. So this is just when people go onto their online banking and make payments through there.
Oh, okay.
Whereas our pre-authorized, we've had, again, it increases annually in people that are signing up for that pre-authorized.
Excellent, thank you.
And I think the other thing sort of piggybacking on that we should maybe look at another information push is trying to get people on the email utility bills, because that's a Canada Post expense that hopefully we can reduce year over year as well. All right, Councillor Overwater.
Thank you, Your Worship. Okay, pardon my ignorance, but I need to understand the difference between, okay, we say we track our tangible capital assets, and then we are trying to track our assets. Okay, so in here it says one asset management plan has been drafted out of 8 major classes. So are those two not interchangeable, tangible and capital, or?
So the inventory is the same. Tangible capital assets are looking backwards, so it's based on historical cost, and that's what's used in our financial statements. It's asset management is looking forward. So what will it cost to replace that road in 20 years as opposed to what it did cost us? And so our software does both. It moves both.
What, pardon me, so what are the 8 major classes? What are those?
So vehicles, machinery and equipment, engineered structures, so road, water, wastewater, storm sewer are all separate, land improvements and land.
So we've basically almost completed this whole asset management for the town of Wolves. Is that correct?
So I'll let Miss Lloyd answer that portion. She's on the asset management plans, whereas I have the inventory.
Okay, because the only reason I question that is, I mean, we've had quite a lengthy discussion about having an asset management manager. So then we would not necessarily need all of this if the plan is almost complete and you just have to continue to upgrade it.
So the plan is the strategic plan of it. We do need an asset manager to maintain that database. As Ms. Lloyd had said, we don't have the attributes for all of our assets. So we know that there's a pipe on a road, but we don't know size. All that's not put into our system. Condition, the risk management of it all. So there's a lot more to it than just creating the overall strategic plan of managing the asset.
All right. Any other questions about the strategic plan? Councillor Bennett.
Thank you, Your Worship. I too am curious, then is the only way we're ever going to have a completed plan of this is by hiring someone from outside?
I will say yes. Right now, it's just done on the side of our desks, and it has taken us quite a while to get this far. If we want it to be comprehensive and something that we follow moving forward, yes.
I think also that should be mentioned is this is a living document like many other of our statutory documents we have. This is not something that probably will ever be complete. It will always need updating and always need tracking and always need information put into the system so that we can better plan going forward. So
I do understand that, but we have to get to a base
yeah,
before
no,
we
we
start
definitely absolutely
adding to it.
Councillor Overwater.
Yeah, thank you, Worship. Yeah, same comment as Councillor Bennett. I mean, sooner or later, we have to find out where our starting base is as to what we all have. And then moving forward that we, renew our infrastructure. And I understand that we understand all that, but we've been working on this for, 8 years, ever since I've been here anyway, probably longer with these two here. And it's like, when will we get to a point where we actually know what we have?
If I may, Your Worship.
Yes, absolutely, Ms. Lloyd.
So these are all great questions. And yes, as Acting CAO Linderman has said, we are doing this off the side of our desk. And what I can tell you is that all of the classes that she mentioned each need to have an individual asset management plan. And within those plans outlines all of the legislative documents, whether they're federal, provincial, or municipal in nature, of which we need to follow to ensure safe practices and best practices for each and every type of major class. Within the plan, there is also sections that relate to levels of service. We need to confirm, and this is all a work in progress. We need to confirm our customer levels of service. We need to confirm our technical levels of service. And we also need to determine what is our future demand and what are those drivers going to be. And with those drivers and taking a look at all of the plans that we have currently in place to incorporate all of this, we need to take a look at what's our plan for future demand. Then the next part we have to determine is the condition of the asset. As Ms. Linderman mentioned, we need to know the makeup of the asset, what type of pipe is it? And that will influence decisions. We also will need to know the length. We need to know the condition of it. And that is currently underway with regards to some of our linear assets. Then we move on to a risk assessment. And within the risk assessment, we need to assess all of the risks associated to each of those major classes, as each one is going to have a different risk associated with it. And with that, then we identify the risks. And then the first included in that risk assessment is also going to be climate mitigation and adaptation and resiliency. And we need to take all of those components into decision making when we do our risk assessment. From the risk assessment, we take a look at what the future mitigations we're going to do with regards to that risk that's been identified. Then we move on to the financial strategy. And the financial strategy currently underway within the town of Olds is a very well done process. And with that, we are going to take a look at what is our infrastructure gap according to what we have in our long-term capital plan that council has been approving for over 10 years. And with that, we actually need to expand it from a 10-year to a 20-year horizon at least, if not over the life of the whole asset. And with that, we need to take a look at what are the assumptions moving forward as far as revenue generation that we can have for the town, and how do we mitigate and determine what our infrastructure gap is between what our inventory register says that we must replace and what our 10-year capital plan is, and determine what the gap is in between that. And with that, then we need to sit down and figure out what are going to be the best financial strategies moving forward to ensure that we have funding in place and proper funding to sustain our delivery of our services based on those assets. Now, council did receive in the service level review a full copy of what the inventory is currently, as well as the replacement value for it. And so you can refer to those documents as well.
Excellent. Thank you very much. All right, Councillor Ryan.
That was a lot to take in. Okay, on 5.10, 510, I guess it is, with regards to the RCMP retroactive pay, I guess it's going to be. We've got a total of 200,000 reserve thing, simply because we put extra in this year, so that was great. But I couldn't remember, and perhaps Acting CEO Lindeman could tell us because of the finances in her lap. What is there any idea again what we were looking at for how much of that back pay is going to be required from the town?
No, they have not released yet what each municipality needs to pay.
Still haven't provided us with any
No.
figures yet. Interesting. Okay, thank you.
All right. All right, so we have a motion on the table. I see no further questions, so I'll call for the vote. Sorry? Oh, an added item. Yeah, no, we're just voting on the strategic plan. Yeah, no, that's all right. I'll call the vote. All in favor? And opposed? That motion is carried. All right, we'll move along to the first added item, 6B, municipal finance interim position, CAO, acting CAO.
Thank you. So administration is preparing a grant application for a municipal finance intern position. A motion from council confirming that resources are available to host an intern is part of the requirements for the application process. The cost of the program, which would include salary benefits, professional development for an 18-month term, is estimated to be approximately $89,250. The municipal internship grant program would contribute $60,000 to these costs. So the town would need to submit approximately $29,500. And so today we're just looking for a motion supporting the application.
Excellent. All right, may I start with a motion and we can go from there. Councillor Thompson.
Yes, your worship, I would move that council pass a resolution supporting participation in the Alberta Community Partnership Municipal Finance Internship Project, confirming municipal resources are available to host an intern. And I do have a question.
Excellent.
Through yourself to Acting CEO Linderman, in our accounting department, is our complement of staff full at this time?
Yes, we have all of our positions filled at this time.
All right. Any further questions regarding this motion? Councillor Ryan. Ben Harper.
Thank you, your worship. Also through to acting CEO Lindeman. Maybe you could tell us then what we would need this internship for. And what kind of role and space and everything they're going to take up in the finance department. A little bit more information.
Oh, definitely. So they would help fill some gaps that we currently have. I'll say a lot off me. It'll help. They need to do a full accounting process. So they would help with budget, audit. They sit with each area. So accounts payable, taxes, utilities, get a full understanding, payroll, everything like that. Asset management is a big one I wanted to get them working on. We need some help in our local improvement levies, preparing spreadsheets for that, a bylaw review, policies review for finance stuff.
Yep.
Excellent. Councillor Harper.
Just through you to Director Linderman. So what type of qualifications would this intern position require? Like, I'm presuming it would be just for a term position to start out with. I shouldn't use that word, to start out with, bad words. So I just like to know some further qualifications this intern would have to have.
Yes, and so municipal affairs sets those qualifications, and I believe for this, they need to be registered in the CPA program. So they've had their bachelor degree already and they're in the CPA program, and it is just for an 18-month term position.
Excellent. Councillor Blatz and then Thompson.
Thank you, your worship. Through you to Acting Director Linderman. Refresh my memory though, when you say that all our positions are currently full, at one point in time, we used to have the Director of Finance and then another individual underneath that director, as well as a few other people in the department. So whatever happened to that other position? I don't remember the exact title of it. You would know, but.
Yes, so we used to have a manager of finance position. That was my previous position before moving up to director. We have it still in the org chart. We don't fund it though for the last couple of years. And our finance coordinator has gone from 5 days a week to 3 days a week. So there is room for an intern to help out.
Thank you for that clarification.
Councillor Thompson, then Overwater.
Thank you, your worship, and through yourself to the interim CEO. In the budget this last year, there was a human resources review that was contemplated. So I'm curious how this will help, whether we've prioritized this as a role, and whether the municipal internship program is accessible for just finance roles or for other areas of the municipal organization as well.
So I'll answer your last question first. There are 3 areas you can have interns, and I believe it's planning, finance, and then CAO admin. And so as far as the organizational review, again, that will be included in the 2022 budget, but obviously that has not been approved at this time. But this will hopefully fit into that.
Excellent. Counselor Overwater.
Thank you, Your Worship. So when the person that was 5 days, I'm assuming at one point in time, there was somebody 5 days and then they went to 3 days. So we never did cover the other 2 days. And that has increased other people's workload. Like, why would we not have covered the 2 days off with someone?
Sorry, and I should have specified. So we do have, we moved grants from that position to a grant coordinator, split position with community services. So there, that 5 days is covered off between the two positions now. It was a new position that we added last year. It was grant / community services admin.
Okay, my issue is that a lot of times these intern people that come in and we say we only need them for 18 months or 10 months, or it's a summer job. Next thing you know, it comes back, usually administration comes back and says, oh, now we need this job as a full-time job. So then we've just increased the staff complement in different departments by one more full person, which increases the whole payroll, the whole expense of having another full-time person. So that's my concern when sometimes we have these positions and they split off into 2 or 3 days, and next thing you know, okay, oh, well, here's a grant, and oh, by the way, it's due October 15th, which is really kind of pushing it, I would say. I mean, sometimes council needs a bit more time to digest and to think about, you know, just because there's a grant there doesn't necessarily mean we should capitalize on it, because sometimes grants tend to cost us more than what we initially thought. So that's just some of my concerns that I have found that seems to be happening. So there's no real answer for that, Director Linderman.
No. Okay. Counselor Ryan.
Thank you, Your Worship. I just was wondering if we had factored in benefits and that into that 29,000.
Yeah, so that includes benefits, and then through the program, they have to go to so many conferences, go to so many training sessions. So that includes all of that, travel costs, conventions, everything.
All right. Okay, well, we have a motion on the table, so no more questions. I'll call for the vote. All in favor? And opposed? All right, that motion carries. Let's move along. 6B is over with. 6C, another added item, web pages. Councillor Bennett.
Thank you, Your Worship. I've gone through a number of communities' websites, and what I have been finding is that they're listing the polling stations, they're listing the REP program overview of the referendum. The website coordinator could be doing this on our website as well. I think they're providing something very fulsome. You have one place to look up and get most of the information. So the website, the advanced polls start tomorrow. I'm not sure how well that's been advertised, because I've had a couple people say, are there even advanced polls? It's like, okay, I'm trying to be helpful without being, okay, well, it's here, it's here, it's here. But obviously the word is still not getting out great. Maybe you can use the electric signs. I'm not, I'm just trying to think of all the other places that it could be. So the questions are out there for sure, and particularly regarding the REP. Our returning officer is busy enough without being bombarded by these types of questions. So I think the initiative should be taken by the website coordinator. I think that's part of the job. And if someone could have a look at that and proceed to get it amended.
Excellent. Yeah, do we have a acting director of community services? Is she overseeing communications, or where does that fall?
She is. She's not here today. However, I can carry that forward.
Okay.
We can,
Hold
will
on.
require that information to be provided to the.
Sorry, what's?
Okay,
Point of order?
Well,
Is that what you're saying?
Well, what I'm trying to say here is that our social media person reports directly to the CAO,
Right.
not to community services. Yes,
Oh, communications,
communications.
yeah, is with community services.
The communications coordinator reports to the CAO, the social media and website administrator, coordinator, reports to the director of community services.
Okay, sorry, carry on, Director Wagstaff.
Well, I'll follow up with the particulars there. I didn't quite catch it all that Councillor Bennett was referring to, but I can follow up with that after the meeting.
Excellent, thank you. Councillor Blatz. Yes, Councillor Harper.
So just a question to Director Wagstaff. You've indicated that our intern director of community services is not available on Zoom today or not available at all. So where's the manager of community services who would then have been sitting in his or her place? So Director Wagstaff, you are intern director of operations and you can't be all things to all people. So I'm just saying there was a line there that if the intern director of community services not here today, where was the manager that could have been conveying that information?
Yep.
So I'm just stating that you can't be all things to all people. So you're right now intern director of operations.
Correct. However, with the absence of those individuals you've mentioned, I'll forward it along.
Very valid point, though, made by Councillor Harper. CA, acting CA.
I was just gonna say, I think if we just get a motion directing administration to follow up, we can move forward with that.
Absolutely. Councillor Blatz.
Well, before we make a motion, and I agree, perhaps we should, but I believe the initiative should have been taken by our website coordinator to do this ahead of time. I mean, this has been something we've known that's in the works since January 1st of 2021. And we shouldn't be the day before our polling stations open and be inundated with questions as to what's going on. It could be on our website and it could be on our Facebook page. I could have missed it quite easily, but I mean, these are things we're hearing that we need to be better at communicating, and we've got people in places of position that should be doing this.
Yeah.
That's just my own opinion.
Director Wagstaff.
I'm going to say, in fairness to any staff member, that they're going to do what they've been asked to do. And if they hadn't been asked to do anything, that's not an expectation that would be placed upon a staff member without them being directed to do so. So as we funnel information to any of our communications, they can do whatever that they're asked to do of them. And now that that's being brought forward, that had not been a directive that had been given, either administratively or council-wise previously. And in fairness to those staff,
All right.
we will deal with it now that it's been brought forward.
All right. Thank you. I don't even know where to start. Councillor Blatz, that was your, and a follow-up, and then we'll, Councillor Bennett. Okay. All right. So we have a motion to go into a closed session under
Sorry,
legislative clerk. This would be personal privacy for staffing. That would be. Yeah. No, I think you're right, but I don't have my sheets in front of me either.
Who do you want to say? Who do you want to say?
and I would like the mayor and council to stay. Is that it for now? Oh, CAO?
I don't know.
No. CAO.
Intern.
Interim CAO.
Yep. Okay. So, and we have council and acting CAO. Director Wagstaff? No, probably not. No. Okay. All right, so we have a motion on the table to go to a closed session under FOIP section 17 with council and acting CAO. All in favor? And opposed? Motion's carried. All right, Mr. Fox. All right, thank you very much, everybody, for bearing with us while we have our closed session. I'll call today's meeting back to order. We do have a rise and report. Councillor Bennett.
Thank you, Worship. I move to ask administration to bring forward the information that was discussed with CAO. Thank you.
Excellent, thank you. All right, questions, comments, concerns regarding that motion? Seeing none, I'll call the vote. All in favor? And opposed? And motion is carried. All right, that brings us to the end of new business. Let's move along to reports from council, boards and committees. We do have one set of minutes in there. I don't know if we had any other reports. I think typically we do that at the end of the month. Yes, Councillor Blatt.
Yes, you're correct, Your Worship, but I felt that potentially this could all be our last council meeting. So I just want to take a quick opportunity to thank you, my colleagues, for the support over the past 4 years. It's been an honor and a privilege to work with each and every one of you. And I want to take this time too to thank the staff and administration for their support and dedication. I know that we've got a great crew here, and I hope to see that they all continue on and support the town of Olds. And also to our residents for having faith in me to represent our community over the past 4 years. It has been an honor and a privilege. Thank you so much.
Excellent. Thank you, Councillor Blatt. Councillor Bennett.
As this is my last meeting, I would like to say thank you to all my crew here, and the staff have been fabulous. And I believe we've accomplished so much over the last 4 years. I'm very proud of the progress we make. And I think the citizens are very happy, generally speaking, with the amenities that Olds has, with what's coming forward, and always making sure that we look after all age groups and keep having people come to Olds to live, to bring business. And it has been a blessing and an honor through challenges as well, but it is, I'm very thankful to have the opportunity. So thank you very much. Group hug.
Thank you very much, Councillor Bennett. Councillor Harper.
Thank you very much, Your Worship. I'd like Councillor Bennett to know that this is my last council meeting. After.
Oh, don't do that.
No. So it has been an honor to serve. I will.
Yeah.
To serve the residents of Olds. I'm going to pretend like I'm doing a eulogy, but not. Anyways, so thank you. It has been an honor and a privilege. I believe that the town of Olds has come a long way in the last 14 years. We have a tremendous amount of accomplishments. I look at the Uptown Olds redevelopment. We've done that. We had tremendous community engagement, especially over the last 4 years. I think of things like budgets, the Urban Hen Project, murals, and one of our favorite topics, garbage. And citizens have spoke very loud and clear that they are very in favor of the current schedule. And people do have the opportunity to purchase, use larger bins or an additional bin to solve their needs. I think one of our biggest accomplishments is finally, after over 40 years, the town of Olds now has athletic fields that we are really proud of. And most importantly, on land that the town of Olds owns. And that hasn't happened for over 40 years. So we have a lot to be very proud of. And I definitely do want to thank my colleagues today and my previous colleagues, but most importantly, to all of our staff who have supported council through very thick and thin. So we've worked with a great group of people here, and I thank you all.
Thank you very much, Councillor Harper. Councillor Bennett and Councillor Harper have gone over and above their call of duty to service our residents in this town. And ladies, it's been nothing short of monumental what you've accomplished over your terms. And I appreciate working for the past 4 years with you, and absolutely acknowledge everything that you've done for our community. Thank you. Councillor Overwater, did you want a minute or would you like to?
I'm good.
Okay.
First off, I'm going to say on September 30th, Councillor Blatz and I, we kind of went around and did our different tours of what was happening for September 30th for Indigenous Peoples' Day. And we attended the museum, and then we went up to the wetlands, and we came across the men and ladies volleyball team. And one of the young men is an Indigenous man. And so we were invited to go into the tent with them, all like these two teams, and they're all like 6-7 feet tall, these people. And Councillor Blatz and I were privileged to share in a smudge with them. So that was very nice. And they were just a lovely group of men and women. And we said they need to inform the council as to when they're playing so that we can come and cheer them on. So we did that. And then also council meetings, PNP, special council meetings, candidate forum. Tomorrow, I also have the privilege of going and touring the carbon capture facility at Clive with through Cape. So that will be an interesting little session, I'm thinking. And then also, I believe, just so everybody is still aware that I believe tomorrow night, we also have the Fire Service Awards. And then on the 14th, I hope everybody put that in their calendar for the Zoom meeting for the RCMP that Staff Sergeant Warren Wright is hosting. I think I sent you all the emails so that you can sign up, and then you'll get your credentials, I believe today, he said. So I think that's really important, especially when we're trying to get the Police Advisory Committee up and running. This coincides quite well with the citizens coming with their concerns and what they think their priorities are, so that the council, the RCMP, and the citizens or residents can all work together. Yes, I am proud that we created the Public Art Advisory Committee. I think that was something that we needed, and we got that through. And the creation of the Police Advisory, I know kind of has stalled for the past bit, but in between, staff sergeants leaving and our facilitator leaving and our vice chair left. So anyways, hopefully going forward, that committee will really get up and get going. And I also want to thank the staff. Yes, I know I can be very gruff sometimes, but however, it all comes from a good place. And especially Sean, he's there for me 24/7 when I have a meltdown on the IT system. So thank you so much, Sean. And of course, my colleagues. This is where I'll start to cry. But anyways, it has been a pleasure. I always remember, and I think I've said this story to some people before, that, I didn't really think Councillor Bennett liked me, but I think she does now. We've become very good friends, and not only friends, but colleagues. And Mary Jane too. I mean, she always knows how to reword my statements so that people understand what I'm trying to say. So you'll be on my speed dial too. So thank you so much, ladies, and I wish you all the best.
Excellent. Thank you, Councillor Overwater. Councillor Ryan.
Well, thank you, worship. Those are hard acts to follow.
All right.
Yeah, thank you all. It's been an honor and privilege to serve the town of Olds, this council and this administration for the last 4 years. It's been really an eye-opening experience. You learn a lot. You gain friends. You gain an insight into a lot of things that are happening in this town. And yeah, certainly I'm proud of the accomplishments of not just the council, but also proud of living here in Olds, and such a wonderful place to live. I guess just go back to reports though. I had the privilege of being on the Regional Development Appeal Board hearing council or committee or whatever it is for the last 3 years when we formed it. And I just actually sat in on my last public hearing this week, and has been an experience, a very good learning experience. They're going to be doing updated for our credentials, I guess, basically some updated training in November. They've asked us all to stay on, so even if I don't get elected, I might put my name in for that as well, just to stay on as town of Olds rep on that, because I've already got the training and it'll save money. And you know me,
Absolutely.
I'm all about saving money.
All about it.
Anyway, thank you very much, and thank you all to this council and to our staff for supporting council in all of our endeavors. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. Councillor Thompson, a few words before.
Thank you very much, Your Worship. I would just suggest that not everyone that makes a real difference in life wears a cape. But through the pandemic that we've had, there have been all kinds of oddities that we've all had to get used to. And being a new councillor coming on during that time was a bit unique. But it was nice to always know that there were people within the administration that stepped up and stepped forward to do the right things for our community. And I think we're still a community where that happens on every street and every corner, whether that be at the elected official level or the volunteer, the person working in the coffee shop, or that person who's happy or not so happy putting on a mask to get that service. The community of Olds is a remarkable community with a real positive future. And when we come together and work together to make it the community that we want, we all contribute in positive ways. So thank you to everyone who's contributed to this term on council, to the organization and the municipality, but to the experience as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Councillor Thompson. And a few words from me. It's been an absolute honor serving as mayor. To Councillor Thompson's words, to this incredible community. I grew up here. I wasn't born here, but I came in grade 2 at the ripe old age of 7, and this has been my home. And even the little lapse where I went to Calgary for a few years, I always had very, very strong roots here, and the pull got so great that I couldn't resist it anymore. And 9 years ago, I had to come back to this community because it is exactly that, an incredible. The town of Olds, in my opinion, has heads and shoulders over many communities in Canada, and we're incredibly lucky to be here. And it has been an absolute honor serving as mayor. And this team of councillors has been incredible to work with. Our senior management has been also very, very incredible. But our every employee, from cutting the grass to whippersnipping to fixing the equipment to grader operators to pool and arena staff, all, especially over the past 18 months with COVID, have gone above and beyond and have done extra work to make this community that aforementioned heads and shoulders above all other communities in Canada, I believe. So it's been an honor, ladies and gentlemen, to serve with you, and best of luck to everybody after the 18th. And we'll all know where we fit into the community, but I know we'll all be big parts of this community for a long time to come. So thank you. All right, unless there's anything else, we should probably have a motion to accept for information the minutes that we did receive from council's reports. Who would like to make that motion? Yes, I believe so. Okay, Councillor Harper.
Thank you very much. I move that we accept the reports from authorities, boards, commissions, committees, and council for the week ending October 12th, 2021, be received for information.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Councillor Harper. Questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, I'll call the vote. All in favor? And opposed? And that motion is carried. Thank you very much. One last little bit of information is the correspondence and information. Acting CAO.
We received thank you notes from two students, Chloe Lutz and Simon May. I apologize, Simon. Both are students at Olds High School, and they both have received the highest academic standing awards in their respective grades.
Excellent. Thank you very much, CAO. And Councillor Harper was kind enough to fill in for me at those awards, and always a great evening at the Olds Ecole High School here in town. It's incredible to see those young people achieve the fantastic things that they do in our amazing facility here in town. So may I have a motion to accept for information? Councillor, sorry? Oh, sorry, Councillor Thompson.
Thank you very much. Your worship, I would move that we accept the correspondence as information and provide that warm congratulations to these outstanding students.
Excellent. I wholeheartedly agree. Any other comments, questions, or concerns? Seeing none, I'll call the vote. All in favor and opposed. Motion. Motion accept. Motion accept. All right. I believe the last thing we have is number 10, adjournment. Who would like their name on that one? I have Councillor Bennett, Harper, and Thompson all on the adjournment this time. So all in favor. Thank you very much, folks. We are adjourned.